Welcome back to another fantastic video. Today we're going to be looking at 4 vocabulary words that are going to help us understand how Congress works and how the seats in the House of Representatives are distributed. So starting off with the census, hopefully you guys are familiar with this term. The census is a population count that takes place every 10 years, okay? So the last census that we had was in 2020, and the results of that census will be reflected within the coming years, okay? So the census, population count. On your notes, you need to define the term in that second column, and then we're going to come back and apply it in class. Next, you've got reapportionment. Reapportionment is the redistribution of representatives after the census, okay? So if a state's population increases dramatically, then that state is probably going to receive more representatives based on the census, okay? If a state's population doesn't increase quite as much in comparison to another state, then that state might lose a representative, or maybe they just don't gain any at all. If you look at this map on this slide here, you're going to see purple, green, and grayish, okay? If you look at Texas, Texas is dark green. Texas actually gained 2 seats as a result of the 2020 census. If you look at California, for the first time in a long time, California actually lost a seat as a result of the 2020 census. Now, this does not mean that California's population decreased. It just means that it didn't increase as dramatically as a state like Texas or a state like Florida, which gains a seat. Illinois is going to lose a seat. Missouri staying the same as we have been, okay? So next, after reapportionment, we go through the redistricting phase. So states that gain or lose a representative have to redraw their district lines because you can't have more districts than you have representatives or less districts than you have representatives. So they're going to have to redraw those district lines, especially states that are purple or green. Now, the grayish states are also going to have to redistrict if they have significant population changes. So for example, if we are in Missouri here, maybe there's a huge population shift and a lot of people move out of St. Louis County and move down to Jefferson County. Well, if that's the case, then we're going to have to redraw our district lines to benefit that change or to represent that change in population, because all of the districts that a state has, they have to be as equal as possible to the other districts. Now, you're never going to have every single district have the exact same amount of people in it, but they have to be as equal as possible. And the last term that we want to look at here is gerrymandering, and that's a fun one. So gerrymandering is named after a guy named Elbridge Gerry. He was in charge of the state of Massachusetts redistricting plan in the early part of our country's history. And he thought it would be a good idea to redraw the district line to benefit his political party. And the reason that it's called gerrymandering, and we'll look at this image in class, is because one of the districts that he drew kind of looked like a salamander, so they called it gerrymandering, okay? So gerrymandering, what you need to know in your notes is that it is redrawing district lines to benefit a political party. I will stop there. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.